Playing through Oblivion, you'll probably find yourself walking through Skingrad, and you might come across a weird little wood elf following you around town. And it's just a little weird, and he's kind of going pss, pss, pss at you. You're not sure why, but you finally just decide to hear him out. And then, of course, as he's trying to talk to you, he then is like, "No, this is too public. We can't actually talk here, even though I was just trying to come and talk to you." He tells you to meet him behind the chapel at midnight. So, why not? You go meet him behind the chapel. And he says if you do something for him, he'll pay you in gold. Lots of gold, apparently, which, as a poor level 2 adventurer, you're always in the need of some gold, and all you had to do is watch someone. I'd say I'm up for that. That's no problem at all. And the thing about this quest line that is really impressive is it shows off a feature that Oblivion started, which is the concept that characters have days, basically. They start off doing something in the morning, they start in their home, wake up, go down from their home, do something with their day, have a schedule, basically, and then eventually go back home and go back to sleep. Glarthir tells you to go follow Bernadette, which you go do, because why not? And you follow her throughout her day. She starts walking in the direction that Glarthir starts walking today, which is a little suspicious, but she ends up going to the chapel. You go follow her at the chapel, hang out with her at the chapel for a little bit, and you keep following her around, and she does run into Glarthir again. Very suspicious, very odd. It's kind of like, what is going on with that? And then, of course, Glarthir pretends not to know you, even though we're kind of best buds at this point. And you go and you see Bernadette, and she works out on the farm for only a couple hours. And then she goes back to her home. And it's really impressive that she only has to work for that long. I'm kind of jealous of the work-life balance. The next night, Glarthir asks you whether you're followed, and she kind of did follow him. So, yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah, she kind of did follow him around and kind of watched his movements in the morning, at least a little bit. And then Glarthir asks you to follow someone else, Tutius Sextus, the sexiest name in Cyrodiil, if I had to guess. And while you're waiting for Tutius Sextus to get out of his house, you get kind of accosted by Dion, the head of the Count's guards. And he kind of tells you what the deal is with your boy Glarthir. And I don't know, it's very confusing to me. It's like, I wouldn't call Glarthir an eccentric. He's kind of more of just concerned about his own well-being. He doesn't want people to follow him and shit. That's not cool. But he does tell you, like, hey, if he asks you to do anything weird, tell me about it, which, I'm not gonna rat my boy Glarthir out, of course. I mean, we're like best friends at this point, so I don't, I don't see that happening. I think it's something you could do in the quest, but I'm not doing that. And so finally, you wait till the morning, and Tutius Sextus leaves his place. And once again, he kind of runs into Glarthir again, which at this point, I'm pretty protective of Glarthir, so I don't like that at all. But we follow him, and he just hangs out in the Count's house for a little while. Probably just trying to suck up to the Count. You talk to him a little bit, kind of tells you to fuck off, and he kind of thinks he's too good for you, which that kind of rubs me the wrong way. He's just kind of a dick for no good reason. Unlike my boy Glarthir, he's always really cool. But you do follow him after he goes to the Count's place, and he eventually just ends up in a field, and then he rides a horse for a little while. I thought he was maybe going to go to a different town or something, but now he just kind of just hangs out on his horse all day. It's a cool life, I guess. But then you go back that night and tell Glarthir what happened. And, he kind of followed Glarthir, but not a lot. But he was kind of a dick, so I'm going to say he was spying on him just because I don't like him. He gives you the assignment of another person to finally look into who's been following him. David Suril, the guy who makes wine and stuff. And so we followed David around. Starts his morning off, going to the vineyard to go work out on the farm, I guess, for a little while. And honestly, after that, he kind of doesn't do a whole lot. He kind of just works on the farm and goes back home and goes back to sleep. So, not really interacting with Glarthir at all. But, you go back and you talk to Glarthir again. And, at this point, the last two people, it'd be kind of weird to say he's not spying on him. So, we want to kind of tell Glarthir what he wants to hear, because then he'll pay us at least. So we'll get paid. And then finally, he scribbles something down on a note for us, hands it to us, and tells us that there's a lot of gold in it if we're willing to do whatever it is. And he said hey, once again, we're kind of poor at this point as being just a level 2 adventurer. And so, more money is always good, and all we have to do is whatever's on the note. And the note, unfortunately, tells us that we need to kill all the people we've been investigating, and starting with David. And, normally I'm not, for murder or anything like that. I'm not a huge murder guy, but, it's my boy Glarthir, and I want to make sure he's protected. So we got to kill David, and then unfortunately we got to kill his brother because his brother saw what happened. So, unfortunately Gaston had to die. And then, Tudius Sextus I killed just because he was being a dick. Like, I don't even know if he actually did anything, but, he was just being a dick. I didn't like that. And then, yeah, we killed Bernadette. I don't know if she was really doing anything, but I honestly was just really jealous of her work-life balance, honestly. And so I just, that was kind of just for me, honestly. And yeah, we went back to Glarthir and, told him we did all that he asked, and yeah, he paid us a really good amount of money. We're still best friends, and it was all in all a good time. Made some money, had made sure our boy Glarthir was taken care of, and it was a good time in Skingrad had by all. I feel like we can continue on with our main quest of trying to find Martin Septim in Kvatch. So we're gonna make our way over to Kvatch now and see what's going on there. I love this quest line for a whole bunch of different reasons. One is it is kind of like a tech demo in a lot of ways of what the fact that these characters can have their day, basically. They can go about their day and do what they want to do during their day, and then finally come back home and go to sleep, and you can sort of you can work around their schedule, basically, and see that they have a life, basically, which makes the world feel so much more alive and real. And then also the fact that you can sort of choose to do whatever you want to do in the situation. There really isn't a right or wrong choice. It just depends on how you want to play it as your character. If you feel extra protective and close to Glarthir, you can do what he asks. You could also tell the guard what's going on and give him the note and get him arrested or killed, and have the other people live free. Or you can try and play them off of each other to try and get even more money. I think there's a way you can get it so you can get the 1,000 gold and then also get an extra 800 gold from, playing the two sides off of each other. And that the level of control in the quest is really great. Without really, they're not, the quest is kind of hinting at you should, go to the police about Glarthir, but it's not like heavy-handedly telling you that's what you need to do. The thing that I find most interesting about it in a game of Oblivion where there's supernatural things happening left and right, there's always some crazy supernatural thing, gates to hell are opening up, there's magical artifacts and magic everywhere, and this quest is just a quest about practically nothing, honestly. It is a quest that is interesting and intriguing, but it's nothing, because there isn't a conspiracy to watch Glarthir, there isn't some interesting, ring of people watching Glarthir to make sure he's, doing what he needs to be doing or something like that. Nothing's actually happening. It's just how much you care about wanting to do what Glarthir tells you to do versus what you feel like is the right thing to do, basically. I really enjoy that in a story where I feel like games tend to have too much meaning to them all. Like, quests have too much significance and too much weight to them all, whereas this quest has no weight, no significance. No matter what you do at the end, it really doesn't have that much of a crazy outcome to the overall story. But it's a fun drama in and of itself, especially the fact that you think that there's a conspiracy going on, and no, there isn't. There's absolutely no conspiracy going on, but you're sort of told that there is one, and you have to uncover it, but it doesn't actually occur. Thanks for listening to my video. If you enjoyed this video, it'd be great if you could support me on Patreon, like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps when it comes to making more of these videos, so thank you.